Title: The Woman Who Took Down the Poolside Pretender. You won't believe what happened to me yesterday. My name is Tiana Brooks, and I'm still trying to process the whirlwind of events that unfolded at my apartment complex. It all started with what should have been a relaxing afternoon by the pool and ended with one of the wildest revelations I've ever encountered. Buckle up, because this story takes a sharp turn. The sun was unforgiving, blazing down onto the hot pavement surrounding the community pool. I've been looking forward to this break all week. My job as a software engineer is demanding, and my solace is found in laps across a cool pool under the sky. I grab my essentials, swimsuit, towel, sunscreen, and an icy drink, and headed down. To my delight, the pool was empty. I quickly changed and slipped into the water, relishing the coolness that wrapped around me. 20 blissful minutes passed, the water erasing the week's stress. It happened. Excuse me. What do you think you're doing? The sharp, accusing voice cut through the tranquility like a knife. I treaded water and turned to face the source, a woman I recognized as Meredith Lang from Unit 4D. I'd never spoken to her before, but her air of superiority was unmistakable. Decked out in a garish floral swimsuit and a sun hat large enough to block a solar flare, she stood glaring at me with her arms crossed. "I'm swimming," I replied, doing my best to stay calm. "Is there a problem?" Her face twisted like she'd bitten into a lemon. "Yes, there's a problem. This is our pool. You people can't just waltz in here." I had expected this. "I live here," I said evenly. "Unit 3A. This pool is for residents." She narrowed her eyes. "I don't believe you. I've never seen you before." Then, louder, "Security. Security." There was no security, of course. Everyone knew that. But she persisted, claiming I was trespassing and that she didn't feel safe. Her voice escalated to a screech as she dialed 911. I resumed swimming, ignoring her accusations, but a knot had formed in my stomach. These situations can escalate fast, and as a black woman, I'm all too familiar with how quickly perception can become persecution. 10 minutes later, 2 police officers arrived. Meredith practically leapt at them with her dramatics, claiming I was a threat and didn't belong. One of the officers, a young woman with a professional demeanor, approached me. "Ma'am, can you tell me what happened?" I explained calmly, pointing to my apartment and providing my ID with the address. She nodded after checking it. "Everything looks fine here." Then, turning to Meredith, her tone shifted. "Ma'am, making a false emergency call is a serious offense. Please don't misuse emergency services." Meredith looked stunned. I was just concerned. I thought she didn't belong. The officers left, but the story wasn't over. As I was drying off, Mrs. Alvarez from next door approached. She patted my arm with a knowing look. "Don't let her get to you, Hija. Meredith always causes trouble." But she messed with the wrong person this time. Then she whispered something that made my jaw drop. Word is, she lied about her immigration status to get in this country. I blinked. "Come again." "Oh yes, Mrs. Alvarez said. Claimed she escaped persecution. But I heard her family was actually connected." I returned to my apartment, heart pounding. It wasn't about revenge. It was about justice. She weaponized her false privilege to try and criminalize me. If she was living a lie, I felt a duty to uncover it. I started with social media. Meredith Lang wasn't shy. Her Facebook was a collection of lavish vacations, judgmental posts, and self-congratulatory captions. Nothing about being a refugee or facing persecution. Then I checked public records. Property databases showed her as a permanent resident, not a citizen. Not damning, but interesting. I dug deeper and found a clue on an old post, a tag linking her to a foundation in Minsk. I cross-referenced business records in Belarus. That's when I struck gold. Her family owned a successful enterprise closely tied to the Belarusian government. An archived article even described Meredith as a rising business leader set to inherit the company. So much for persecution. This contradicted everything she might have claimed to gain entry to the U.S. Had she fabricated a story to secure asylum? I needed a legal opinion. I scheduled a consultation with an immigration attorney. He reviewed the documents and explained the stakes. If she lied about persecution to gain status, that's immigration fraud. But we need a thorough case to bring forward. He encouraged me to keep gathering evidence, documents, witnesses, any statements she made. So I returned to the digital trenches. I uncovered more accolades awarded to her family by the Belarusian state, including economic commendations and photos of Meredith at government galas. I printed everything. Then I spoke to neighbors. Several recalled Meredith making derogatory comments about immigrants while boasting about her ties back home. While anecdotal, their statements added weight. Eventually, I knew I had enough. I knocked on her door one evening. She opened it with her usual scowl. "What do you want?" "We need to talk," I said firmly. "I know about your past, your family business, the lies about persecution." Her face went pale. She tried to slam the door. I blocked it. "Don't bother, Meredith. I have the records, the articles, everything." Her bravado crumbled. "Okay, maybe I exaggerated a little. Everyone does. You have to if you want a chance." "That's not exaggeration. That's fraud," I replied. "And you used that fraud to justify calling the police on me, a black woman, for swimming." She went quiet. Then she asked, "What do you want?" "I want you to admit what you did and apologize. Understand you can't weaponize your lies against people like me." After a long pause, she hung her head. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Elite, please don't report me." "That's not up to me," I said. "It's about what's right." I turned and left. The next morning, I contacted Homeland Security. I submitted everything: the articles, documents, neighbor statements. The agent I spoke with was respectful and thorough. Weeks passed. Nothing. I wondered if I'd wasted my time. Then one morning, I saw it, a moving truck outside Meredith's building. Hours later, she was gone. Word spread that she'd been taken into custody by immigration officers. She now faced deportation for fraud. I felt a mix of emotions. I didn't celebrate her downfall, but she needed to be held accountable. The whole experience opened my eyes wider to the subtle and overt racism embedded in everyday life. It also showed me that truth has power, and that justice, however slow, can find its way to the surface. Now, I swim in peace. Neighbors smile more, wave more. Some even whisper, "That's her, the woman who took down the poolside pretender." And you know what? I wear that badge with pride.